Hi, it's Kathleen Nacker, and this is the Game of Life 101 podcast. And I'm your host, Kathleen Nacker. And let me just tell you about what the Game of Life and my mission on this. And it's from my book. Are you feeling stuck or anxious, sad, defeated? I mean, if you're not, please do share. But do you wish you had a cheat sheet for building your future of your dreams? The Game of Life contains all the tools that you need to see the world and your part in it from a different perspective. Perspective is everything. The bird's eye view allows you to build a doable plan filled with imagination and vision, tools, techniques, and methods. A plan that will help you become more successful in everything you do. It will transcend and break those chains that have been put on our minds that are holding us back and start questioning the hows and whys of what you do and discover your true power inside. That hero, that light that you know is inside of you. Let's ignite that and ignite it, because the world needs your power. The world needs you to step into you and to dissolve all this BS. Okay. And so we're going to transform the Game of Life, the courses that I have and everything that I'm offering, membership and stuff like that, is designed to transform your life in a completely different way. I am all about impact and having your voice heard, and you do that with knowledge. So my aim and my goal is to provide you knowledge so that you can use that for confidence. And when you have the confidence, you will gain the courage to face your fears. When you start facing your fears, it's this vibration frequency inside of you that just explodes. Okay, so let's do this. So today, put that up. Today I wanted to talk about, and I have a cheat sheet, so I will be pulling that over. Today I wanted to talk about the word. And as I get this all lined up. And what is word? And if you didn't hear my first episode, a recap on me, where I'm coming from, so you know, is 30 years of corporate doing all kinds. I was a number one top seller, and I have plaques all over here. I was a single mom, and I didn't put this in that podcast though. A single mom, divorced. My ex was in another state, so it was truly divorced. And the man that I went to work for, an attorney, stopped paying me. His checks were bouncing, and he had a mistress, and I knew his wife. So I was like, look, dude, checks better not be bouncing anymore, or the wife might find out about the mistress. A little sketchy. But anyway, the point is, I was scared shitless once again, as if I hadn't already been through a lot in my life. If you haven't known, in the book Success Matters, and in my first episode, I talk about a little bit about when I was in my 20s and what I went through. But so here I am again, going through a divorce and truly on my own, go to work for somebody, just bought a house, and the guy just pulls the rug out from underneath me, and his checks are bouncing. And, I'm like, oh my God. Well, hindsight has it that I had happened to get my insurance license, and a couple months before that. And a friend of mine that I was talking to was like, you know what? Why don't you go into insurance, this or that? 100% commission. I'm a single mom, hardly getting anything from my ex. And because we got divorced in Mississippi, long story short, they're not a good place to, if you're getting divorced in Mississippi, you might want to move to another state. Anyway, off track. The point is, I went to 100% commission, and I became the number one seller for the state of Illinois. I was determined. I spoke faith and life into me. And that's what I want to do in my podcast and in today, and in everything that I do, is to speak power and to help somebody that might be struggling. I'm struggling. Okay. past year has been one that, like, as much as I've been through, has really kicked my ass in a whole new way. And that's what's happening right now. The energy on our planet is shifting and changing, and you're feeling that. It's bringing up these emotions. And today I want to dive into why that's happening. So without further ado, today we're going to explore the transformative power of words. Words can heal us, and they manifest our reality. And I know, like, if you're like me, you're like, well, why am I manifesting all this BS? Okay. Well, I tell myself this. So when I say this, I am speaking to you as well as to myself. I believe that I'm here for a purpose that is greater than me, that is greater than what, and I know that you are. So when I say that, you are here for a reason. You're going through all this BS, this shit in this game of life so that you can level up. Life is not happening to you. As Tony Robbins says, life is happening for you, not to you. It is happening for you. So when you look at it from that perspective, you sit there and you think, okay, if life is happening for me, what am I supposed to learn from this so that I can move on, so that I can excel, so that I can grow, so that I can help others as well? And I will tell you, it's very key to help others. It's hard sometimes, or I shouldn't say hard. That's my friend Laura would get after me. It's a challenge sometimes. And so I want to pause for a moment and just go to words are extremely important. And the words that we are using can lower our vibration frequency. We are all a vibration, magnetic energy, a frequency. I learned this. It's called quantum physics. It's not debatable. There's electrocardiogram. There's all kinds of ways to measure your electromagnetic field of energy. That is why it measures out 3 feet, and why, I don't know, maybe we stayed 6 feet apart so that we couldn't interact with that electromagnetic field of energy and have that connection. Connection is very important for us. So just, I will be putting little things in there and hopefully not lose you, or, like, if you want to know more on anything I say, just let me know, because I can go on tangents. So, as Einstein and Tesla stated, frequency, the vibration frequency that we are, is the future of healing us. So you're like, what? I know. I read all these books. One of my favorite books, which I lost the cover a long time ago. It's literally doesn't have the cover. And people say, did you know that there's another book with the game of life? And yes, I might have read it a few times. I lost the cover. So it was by Florence Scovel Shine. I literally have some of posting notes that I've always kept with me that come from that book, and I will share those. But so vibration frequency and words have power. So since Tesla and Einstein are, like, mega smart, we might want to look at what did they mean by that. So if they're telling us that frequency is that, let's dive into that a little bit more. Whether it's through technologies like the Rife machine that sends a vibration frequency, the energy enhancement system. There's, my friend Michelle has one in New York. She's opening one in South Carolina. So if you're in the St. Louis area, we have 2 electro energy enhancement systems here in the area, and they're magnificent. They do light therapy. So I want to go into the simple power of the spoken word and written words, because written, I will tell you that attorneys spend a lot of time on the word, and some of them have double meaning. It's a double meaning. It's a 2-edged tongue. Okay. And I won't go into all that today, but we have the ability to shape our reality. So words shape that and the frequency. So let's go back to the Bible. Okay. I know there are some that say, I'm an atheist. Okay. I know. I respect everybody. You do you, and I'll do me. I will say creator and God, and that is mine. If you want to call it prana, universe, natural Declaration of Independence says gods of our laws of nature and nature's God. And so whatever you want to call it, Buddha, whatever you want to call it, this book is pretty dang amazing. I mean, seriously, if you haven't read it, like just open it up. It will open up to wherever you're supposed to get. And it's in parables. So depending on your vibration frequency, you can read it today and do some inner work or do some healing or whatever. And then you will get a different message on the same verse later. That's why it's called a living Bible. You're always going to get a new message from it. I highly recommend it. Anyway, in this book, it talks about the Bible, I should say. It talks about, in the beginning, let there be light. Gotta think about that for a moment. And it also says, first was the Word. So, I have, like, since second grade, been pondering on what is the Word? What does that mean? I love the hidden in plain sight. It's like putting a puzzle together. So what is hidden in plain sight? And first it was a word. So word means logos. And logos means light, sound, sacred geometry. I think I'm forgetting something. So add it in the comments when you know what it is. And maybe you'll get a bonus. Who knows? Because I know I'm forgetting something. Sacred geometry, light, sound. Anyway, so let's think about this. Sound. What does sound do? So if you've heard of cymatics, they can put sand like on a flat surface and then send different sound vibrations. And the sand changes into magnificent forms. Now we're going to take this another way. So Dr. Amato does a test with water because we in our cells are water. We're 70%, give or take. Some say higher, some say lower. It depends on your hydration and everything. Drink your water and have a cup of coffee with me too. But we are water. And so water holds memory. It holds on to your trauma. It holds on to your words that you're speaking into existence. So we want to be very careful with that. So Dr. Amato does this test and he writes, he takes some water and he writes like love, joy, peace, authentic, writes different things. And then he takes different ones for each water. Then he takes fear, hate, anger, sadness, and he freezes them. And then he looks at them under a microscope. And what he discovered was the drop of water on the lower vibration frequencies has jagged edges. Okay. And when you have love and peace, your voice changes too. Watch it. It does. And they had beautiful soft edges. They were nice. So if you think about this, if you're speaking words, if you're feeling anger, if you're feeling sad, I'm not saying don't feel that. I am all about feeling it. Just don't do it in abundant, like heal it, feel it, heal it. And we can go over that too. Becoming a master of that one. Anyway, let me move my mic closer. I hope you guys can hear me okay. So this is Hawkins. This is just, it misprinted, but it still gives us the effect. So these are the lower energy vibration frequencies that you want to be able to pull yourself out of. I have methods and tools that I teach on this. So you want to pull yourself up and then you want to get up to that. So we are water and planting a seed here. Water is currency. So we're electromagnetic field of energy. Currency is what helps your electromagnetic field of energy flow. You want to keep that flowing. What happens is when you have those jagged edges, when you speak words like, I can't, this is too hard, you're sending it to your body. You're sending a message to your body that says, well, can't do that. I'm not going to let that one happen. And, we're doing the sad thing. So let's stay in that. We don't want to move out of that. So you want to use your words with your thoughts. You want to constantly feed. What are you feeding your thoughts? I feed my thoughts a lot, all day. I listen to 117 books in 1 year, if that gives you anything, while writing a book, and working full time. I know, I'm a little bit of a nerd. So sacred geometry and cymatics. So you think about that in a body that is alkaline and oxidized does not have dis-ease. One of the ways that you can do this, you can speak into your frequency, like Einstein and Tesla said, speak into your frequency a higher vibration word. So when Florence Shovels shine with God, and if you are opposed to God, use whatever word you want, okay? With God, all things are possible. You must demand it, command it, declare it as received, not coming to you, but as received. Because remember, we want that currency flow to keep flowing. So ask and you shall receive. So you can say infinite spirit, God, creator, whatever you want to put in here. Okay, so infinite spirit, open the way. This is something that you can put like in your car, in your mirror, by your bed. You want to say it a couple times a day, whatever it is, not necessarily what I have here. You're going to create your own. You can't use my frequency, my vibration, my words. You create your own. I'm giving you some suggestions. So infinite spirit, open the way for my right home. For the wonderful friends, I'm just going to give you a couple different things that you might think about. For the wonderful friends, for the fabulous career, put in there whatever you want. So infinite spirit, open the way for serving others. And I give thanks that it now manifests in the perfect way. And some of the other things that I say is, where's my, right now, when I'm saying, it's underneath my microphone. So I give thanks and gratitude for the infinite spirit that the huge amount of money that I am receiving in unexpected ways that keeps coming and flowing to me with ease. And I am so thankful. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is. That's not all of it, but I was just trying to cut it short. Anyway, I have this Post-it note, and in my book and in everything that I say, game plan in the morning, game plan at night, setting your intentions. It's not just like, oh, I think I'll be joyful today. That's great. That is perfect. That is awesome. There's nothing wrong with that. You might want to expand on that so that you can set your intentions, visualize, and I will be talking more about that in future episodes with other people and giving you examples of what they've done, what I've done. Okay. Those are just planting seeds. And so you want to be mindful of that, because first there was the word, and the word is and was. So the word is your vibration frequency. Now I want to be mindful in the fact that it does not matter about the spelling of the word, because the word sounds the same. So I know that there are people who will tell you both sides of this. You do what resonates with you on everything. If some of what I say resonates with you, great, then apply that. If some of it doesn't, just trash it, pitch it. Okay. This is your life. This is to help you in the most magnificent way, but you design this, you create this. So no matter who you're listening to, if it resonates, great. If it makes you wonder, if it makes you question, perfect. Because we want to expand our consciousness, because we've been very programmed by society. That's what I call it in my book, to think a certain way, limiting thoughts, unworthiness, sad, victimhood. Oh, Jesus. Don't even get me started on that one today. We'll do that one another time. Very good. Society they've done a great job. Now we're just reverse engineering it. And that's what I'm helping with, is to reverse engineer that. So we went over cymatics. If you're not sure what that is, or if you haven't seen it, I can post some videos, like, share, comment. I want videos on this. You can also research it yourself. When you're researching itself, you're setting that vibration in you. So I highly recommend that. It's very cool. Words, the Bible says words, Jesus, I believe, says this, words become flesh. Okay. That means our words create our reality. Our words create what we're doing. And so you're like, well, I didn't want to have this or that happen. Okay. We also, I believe, come here. We come here to learn. We come to this life to learn and to evolve and to help each other grow. And that's why I call it the Game of Life 101. And I have more coming on that. But that's why I call it that, because when you see life as a game, you can see things differently. So society would have you think that having $1 million and multiple homes and traveling all over and having whatever freaking car is the life. That is success. That's success. And that doorway of that miserable life is wide open. Everybody's like, hey, let me pile in. I want some of that. You hear all these people talking about being millionaires. But what really sets them apart is when they talk about really wanting to help others. Because who's to say that's success? Because we don't know where that road's leading them. And I also know that I was there. I had money and I was with the elites and it was freaking ass miserable. Okay. So what is success? Success is being out in nature, maybe. I mean, let's just change that perception, our how we view it. Maybe our struggles are testing us so that we can become the hero inside of us, so that we can ignite that light inside of us. And without that, we wouldn't know how to do that. We wouldn't know how to help someone else. Had I never been beaten, I wouldn't be able to help women. I wouldn't have been able to be a volunteer for Alive and help women that are being abused leave that situation with courage, with confidence, with knowledge. And that's what I'm here for. That's what I do. I went through those experiences. I don't regret them. I am blessed that I had those experiences so that I can help others. I just went through the court system and I didn't hire an attorney because I am so grateful that my ex, for the third time of being divorced 13 years, thinks that he still needs to know what my finances are. It's just a lovely gift of choosing him. Joy. It's all in how you see it. I didn't hire an attorney. One, I didn't have the money to hire an attorney. Two, I wanted to know how corrupt the systems were so that I could help women. And I learned a lot. So I'm very, very thankful. It's about being thankful. So we do create that for whatever reason. I knew it was going to happen before. And I want to ask you and challenge you to look at what your life is. Did you know that this stuff was going to happen before it happened? Was there something inside of you that felt like it was going to happen? I will give you an example. I went through hell in my 20s, with abuse and losing one person after another, moving, making new friends, having new jobs, and going to school, going for postgraduate at Rollins College. And then I was trying to, taking the actions to get out of that situation safely. This was 34 years ago, so we didn't have all the media and the internet and everything. You had to look for things a little bit more challenging. And I started to date someone, fabulous person, John. And I wrote in my journal that John would not be in my life long, and I didn't know why. I mean, he was truly a remarkable person, and he really helped me heal in many ways. He taught me to look at the Bible and to accept that I already have a strong faith, but he really was magnificent in that short amount of time. John was killed by a drunk driver, somebody who had 5 previous DUIs. And in the summer of 93, I had just come out of being divorced, and my Nana got cancer and passed rather quickly. My dad had died, my aunt had died, my mom was marrying my uncle. There was, a little going on. My entire town was flooded. It was the flood of 93. So there was a lot going on. And then I started dating John and he was gone. And I say all that because did I bring all that into my existence? Without all that experience, I wouldn't be who I am. And who I am is perfectly. It may not seem perfect. I may not have big homes and stuff like that. But I have a nice home. I go on trips and, I do. And I knew that something was going to happen to John. I didn't know what, but I knew. And I bet that you knew. And now let's change that vibration frequency. Let's speak into existence a different vibration. So in here, I have a little chart, which you're not going to be able to see. So I'm going to do this really quick because this helps me. I don't know if it'll help you. So let's say we're on this vibration frequency, and it's like, so a vibration frequency always has its ups and downs. Like it's like a wave, like a wave in the ocean. You can have a nice smooth wave. You can have a, a hard wave. And anyway, so with my fingers, that's beautiful. Okay, so sadness, anger, whatever, it may just be a nice steady flow. I'm always in this state. Well, let's think about the words we're going to use. And I have this all around my house. Your mission accomplished. I have a bunch of different things around my house. I read something every single day without fail because it is part of my game plan. It's my non-negotiable practices. So I read that I defy the odds. I read that I am the voice. I read that I am wealthy and I am abundant. And I have other things that I read that I can share with you. And so I'm like here, right? I'm like feeling sad and, poor little me because I'm a victim of society. And then I know that I also have the ability to shift this vibration up to here. So I have the ability and the methods and the tools to go from feeling one of these sad, anger, abandonment, victim type mindsets to get up to courage and to go higher and to being inspired. And how do I do that? And so you speak it into existence, and you speak it into existence with reading things like I've read. I have posted cards, different ones, because they catch my color, helps stimulate your brain. So color is on, hey, that's color. So what is the word? The word is sound. It is light. It is sacred geometry. It's colors. So stimulate your mind so you can put different ones on there. So you can go from here, and I teach this with some of the tools that I use, like I use heart math, for example, and you can jump from feeling here to here. And it's a shift. This is what's called, some call it transformation. It's a shift. And knowing how to be able to do that quickly and repeatedly over and over and over. Life is going to hit you and you're going to go down here, but you want to be able to get up here and keep your steady flow up here. So I don't know if that helps anybody. But so in the Bible, I was back here. I'm going to go back. Words become flesh. That's what the Bible tells us. And this means our reality is shaped by the words we speak into existence, by the thoughts that we have. So when you're listening to positive podcast or whatever, that's going to help you. And remember, your current challenges are opportunities for growth. Don't look at them as poor little me. Life is happening for you. So shift your perception and say, what can I learn from this? How can I benefit and help others to benefit? And it's a growth opportunity, right? Embracing both. So without feeling that, without whatever it is that brings you down, that makes you sad, that gets you stressed out. I mean, stress is a huge factor in our daily lives. Without that, you don't know. Without dark, you don't know light. Without fear, you don't know faith. Without love, you don't know hate. So everything has its polar. It's the law of polarity, right? So everything has its opposites. If you don't know what you're going through, then how are you going to pull yourself out? But there is that side, and it's only a day away. Breathe through it. Breathe. When we're in a low vibration, we forget to breathe. The subtle act of just stopping, pausing, you can do it with your eyes open, you can do it with your driving, is just breathe in through your nose, pause, and let it out slowly out your mouth. I do it out my mouth. And there's been studies. I was part of a study of different breathing techniques and breathing out and even making a sound. So you might want to do that in your private, but it's just because the vibration of the sound, right? Get it? So there's lots of different breathing tools and techniques that I use. And that one is like your go-to right away. like when you're driving, you're stressed, someone's yelling at you, you're feeling in the midst of your tears and crying, like, whatever. I've been there, and I've been there recently. So you just breathe and know without a shadow of a doubt, this will pass. Okay. And I want to say something about the flow of our words and our energy as I get ready to wrap this up. Our electromagnetic field of energy is your currency. Currency is money. Currency is abundance. And let's go back to money. So we have a government right now, who's playing this game, because remember, the government is the villain society in our game of life. And they're like, hey, we're going to monitor this whole cashless BS. It's BS, because if the government, so I can't use cash anymore, I have to have a credit card. Oh, who owns the credit card? What are the terms and conditions that you didn't read because you were just signing up because it's convenience. Okay. So, I don't really own any money in my bank account. I don't really own any money anywhere because someone else has it, because it's in those terms and conditions that we signed that we didn't read. Okay. And we didn't understand it if we did read it. Well, most of us. And so when you go cashless, they're taking away part of your energy flow, your currency. What happens to water when it's blocked? It starts backing up. And then it causes a hot mess. And that's where we are. We got a government that's out of freaking control. And the whole reason, if you look at this as a game, the whole reason that the government has this big takeover, this big, big bully, they're being bullies, okay? And it's men or women who are equal to us being bullies. And so it's to help us wake up and say, yeah, you can't do that. What happens when they take over the entire currency, your electromagnetic field of energy, is they want to control that energy. They want to control your electromagnetic field of energy and mine, because it is so powerful. And so they can say, oh, well, you spoke out, Kathleen, which is most likely like I do. So we're going to cut your credit card off and you can't buy anything. And we're going to take your home away from you. And we're going to, we're going to turn off your car, because we have the power to turn off your car. They do. They have the power to lock your car, to stop your car, to do all of that. If you have one of the newer versions, that's why the older versions might be a good option to make sure you have one. But it's to control that currency. So it's about speaking our word into existence. It's about speaking up and having a voice and saying, yeah, no, that actually violates our God-given rights. And that's what I teach, is how to have the knowledge to speak up, how to have an impact with your voice, and to have the confidence to do it in a respectful way with a compassionate heart, because your heart is your heartbeat. You want to make sure it's coming from compassion when you're dealing with society and things like that. So just as we are made of water, remember I went over the 70% in Dr. Amato's study, our cells and our bodies are deeply connected to the flow of energy and the information that we choose to allow into our reality. So if you're watching TV and you're watching Bang Bang Shoot 'em Up, playing games Bang Bang Shoot 'em Up, and you're wondering why your life is like that, it's because you're choosing to have your thoughts create that. So thoughts, I talk about it in my book, The Game of Life. What are you feeding your thoughts? Your thoughts create your energy in motion, which is emotion. And your emotions, are you going to react or respond? And so that's the action. It's a result of your thoughts that go with energy and motion that create the action. Okay, so you want to be able to have that flow, and it starts with your thoughts. And so I will wrap this up. Grab a coffee, ponder on anything. Like and share, please. I am growing, and I know that you can like and share some Hollywood person or somebody that you don't know. So if you know me, you don't know me, want to get to know me, like and share, and let's play this game of life and roll the dice. I always like to say roll the dice, because when you're facing fear and you're facing this game of life and it gets challenging, to roll the dice helps you be like, screw it, just roll the dice. And remember, Dorothy did it, and Toto was the hero, right? Toto pulled back the veil on the little old man to find out the little old man doesn't have any power except that which is in your mind. Every fear that you have is an illusion in your mind, because on the other side of fear is grand. It's magnificent. It's this vibration frequency where like, I freaking did it. I faced my fear and I overcame it. So I hope today was helpful. Roll the dice, play the game of life, and thanks so much for being a part of here with this, sharing your time with me. I value you and I value your time, and have a wonderful day. Play the game of life, like and share. Appreciate your help and support.